The Cairo Genizah is a Genizah collection that was discovered, came to be known by scholars in the West during the 19th century, and particularly in the latter part of the 19th century. A Genizah is a place where a Jewish community, usually in a synagogue, will keep the remains of its sacred texts that can't be thrown out as garbage. They've got to be treated with honor. And so they'll be stored till they're sent to burial. For reasons we don't know, the Jewish community in Old Cairo, in Fustat, never sent their Genizah to burial. And so what they stored there piled up for generation after generation, literally century after century, from the founding of the synagogue in the 10th century all the way to the latter part of the 19th century. Volumes, one of which I have here in my hand, are the treated pieces, and even if they may not be in great shape, as you can see, through treatment they're flattened, they're cleaned in a very basic way, and in the end they're available to be researched by one and all. What I'd like you to do actually is come with me, and I will show you a couple of well-treated pieces and what it all looks like before treatment. Here I've got a box of befores. These are fragments from the Genizah that have not been treated. And if you look into this box, you will see that the Genizah, when discovered and transported, was basically a jumble of what authors who have written about this recently have called sacred trash. That's the before. And as part of the NEH grant, our 6,000 or so untreated fragments are now going to be treated, so that in the end they look more like this. This is a very distinguished letter that was found in our Genizah collection. The writing here is by a scribe. It's in Judeo-Arabic, but it was signed by what we might call the chief executive officer of the Jewish community in Cairo in his day. Right here at the bottom you can see the signature in his own hand of Maimonides. And this is a letter which Maimonides sends, evidently in multiple copies, to Jewish communities between Palestine and Egypt, asking them to pay pledges they've made to help redeem captives that were taken by the Crusader kingdom in Jerusalem. What difference does the treatment make? We can read it, we can research it, and we can put it online. That's what this entire project's about.
Step one is removing them from the box, and we assign them a number, and these numbers are actually laminated so that they can go through the fragments through the whole treatment so that they can withstand aqueous treatment with the fragments. This is a humidity chamber, and that's what I meant by aqueous treatment. The fragments are sitting on top of a piece of Gore-Tex, which allows moisture to it's so they're not in direct contact with moisture, it's coming through as a vapor. This can also be called a vapor chamber. And underneath the Gore-Tex, there's a dampened piece of blotting paper here. And typically they'll sit in here for a couple of hours, and the paper fibers will relax, and that allows us to unfold the fragments, and it also helps them wet out evenly for the next treatment step.
So the fragments are in their bath right now, and we will change the tech wipe out a few times during each bath so that they can get nice and clean. And to do that, we peel back the tech wipe very carefully, very slowly, and we'll place a new dampened tech wipe on top and below. And we'll change the bath typically 3 to 4 times throughout the day, so it's a long, slow process to bathe each group of fragments. So you can see the fragments in their bath. I'll peel it back so you can have a little peek. And you can see some of the discoloration already coming out. And we wash them this way because it's the most gentle aqueous treatment. It allows the fragments to wash, but in a very sort of controlled way. The next step in the treatment process is pressing and drying the fragments after they've been washed. So after their final bath, they're transferred to these drying stacks, and they are put under their blanket under their felt blanket and pressed under weight for weeks. So each stack will probably leave for about a month to dry fully, so it slowly draws out the moisture that we slowly put into it.
Talking about a collection that today has in excess of 250,000 documents, depending upon how you count them, in Hebrew, in Aramaic, much smaller amounts in other languages, but a very important quantity in Judeo-Arabic. And if we want to know the life of this community, its individual members, the relations of those members, the relations of this community to the adjacent community, medieval life around the Mediterranean, you're going to find no better, no more complete record of that, whether you're talking about Jews or Muslims or Christians. The best evidence we have is in this Cairo Genizah. So this is not just for Jewish scholars, it's for all scholars. And what is there to be discovered is literally unimaginable because it will take generations to get through it all. If you're interested in researching the Genizah, in addition to the secondary scholarship, these books are quite amazing. If you want to look at it directly, you can do it online at genizah.org. Or if you're interested in seeing these items in person, you can come to one of the libraries where the materials are preserved, and I invite you to come see us at the Jewish Theological Seminary Library to see some of our 43,000 or so Genizah fragments.